Today I'm trying to paint this blue fish with my shiny color, my pearl color, so it gives like an incandescent pearl looking finish. Haven't done anything like this in a while, so I don't even know what it's gonna look like. So let's begin. I'm gonna do a wet on wet technique. So first I'm gonna wet this entire fish. You can't really see what I'm doing, but basically I'm just putting clean water around the area where I wanted the color to go. And then I'm gonna add color to the wetted area and let it spread. I really like this technique because it gives it a very nice smooth blending naturally. And it's also kind of hard to control where the water goes sometimes, but I also like the suppressing effects. The color will go from from high concentration to low concentration, meaning that if you put color on the water, it will spread to the lighter color area. This fish also has some pink on the bottom. I believe it's just the lighting from the photography, but I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna add those pink into this fish as well. Sometimes if the water dries out, you can always use a clean brush to add a little bit more water to it and then let the color spread even further. I really like this texture that it's creating by adding this wet on wet effect. The only issue I have, it's just hard to control, and I like to control everything. And then on the fins, I'm just gonna paint it regularly without adding more water to begin with, so you can see the difference. Oh, by the way, the fish drawing is done with a pen called Micron. It's a very useful, very commonly used pen in illustration. It's waterproof, obviously, so a lot of artists would use it along with watercolor. They would do the line work first, like what I did here, and then add watercolor to it. The only one thing I want to say is if you are doing that, make sure your your pen ink is completely dry before you erase your pencil mark or before you paint the watercolor, otherwise it will smudge, although the ink actually dried pretty fast. So you don't have to be too concerned about it. Oops. Changing to a bigger brush for the bigger fin. And then in the eye area, it's actually blue, but it reflected some of the purple pink light, so it turned kind of pink. I mean purple. It's kind of cool. So, okay. Now we have the base layer down. I'm gonna make sure everything is dry before I add a second layer. This fish does not have any scale, but it looks like his body reflects a lot of lights in different shapes. I'm assuming it's a very bumpy body. Hello! Welcome Sunnyside and Snoozer. As I was trying to say, giving this fish a little bit more shape and depth. What's this art for? There's no purpose of this painting. I been doing too much art for work lately, so I wanted to do something that is not work related, so that I could kind of like reset and not think about drawing food and the cookbook for a while, at least for the night. And I also want to test out the pearl color set. So I'm painting a base layer of this fish with regular watercolor, and then I'm gonna add the shiny colors on top to see how that goes. Shiny makes me think of shiny Pokemon. Yeah, but the shiny Pokemon, they look kind of ugly. I don't know why they had to choose like a shitty green to be a shiny. Why can't it be gold or something, you know? Yeah, this fish, this reference picture that I randomly just found online is a silvery blue fish with some kind of I don't know if it's like really pink to start with, or because there's some kind of pink light cast on the fish, but it looks really cool. And then in the bottom here has some pink color, so I'm gonna add that. So when your watercolor is still wet, you can add another color to it and it will naturally just blend together, which is pretty cool. But you gotta do it fast, that way they will blend nicely instead of patchy. Shiny Umbreon is my fave. Same goes with shiny Altaria because it reminds me of banana birds. Yes. Oh no, my brush become purple. I'm using a lot of different kinds of blue here. Like I said earlier, the watercolor paint will go from high concentration to low concentration. So if you have a color that is really light and then you add another color or add more paint to your painted area, that color will spread towards the lower concentration, more watery area, if that makes sense. So you could use that technique to spread out your paint, or control where your paint goes. fish has some texture on the top. But I guess I'll work on it after the paint dries. I recently cut my own hair to give myself a small bang. Now I regret because I keep getting it into my face. Okay. So we have hairpin are the best. I use them to keep my hair out of my face while jogging. Yeah, I should have guessed some before I started. I didn't think about it. This fish kind of look ugly, to be honest. Kind of ugly cute. Kind of want to go to aquarium again. I'm gonna go to Atlanta in the winter. Maybe I'll go to the aquarium again. Oh, could you guys tell me if this video keep getting blurry like last time or not? I changed the camera, hoping that this one will be better. If it turns blurry like last time, please let me know. Or if it's better, then I'll keep this new setup instead. So when I do painting like these ones that have two colors that I don't want them to mix in my palette, I usually hold two brushes. Use one for one color and then keep it clean from the other color. That way they don't go muddy right away. It doesn't look blurry, although I use my phone while I watch. I wonder if that has to do with anything. Because I'm using my phone to film right now, I think it actually gives the best quality with an iPhone filming than using like a webcam or a different camera. It's crystal clear this time. Thank you. I think iPhone definitely wins. Yeah. I think I'll keep using my phone then. Oh. Nice. Some pink in the tail. Ah, what a cute fish. I think iPhone is still really good portable quality camera. Indeed. Yeah, I like using my iPhone when I used to film film little drawing videos for social media. I used my iPhone and the quality was so good compared to all of the other ones that I have tried. Only problem is I don't have too much storage space, and I'm too lazy to edit them fast. I don't edit them fast enough, so it became a issue. Right now I'm adding shadows to make the fish a little bit more, has more depth. Can't say it. Using these darker blues. Stephanie. Aren't you in school? Oh, okay. I guess she's just here to say hi. Hi, Stephanie. Walking. That's quick. You get to school pretty quickly. Oh, never mind. It's already 8 o'clock. Okay. Now I'm adding details to the fin area. The fish look kind of boring right now, but I swear it'll look better once I add the silvery paint. Don't run into trees or anything. Okay. And the last part, where's my paint? Ah, it's right here. So this is a color ink. It's also watercolor, but it's very concentrated. So you could either use it as is or dilute it with water and it'll become more like regular watercolor, but it will stain your paper. It's very concentrated, so if you want super vibrant color, you could consider using that. This one, also adding some of that black to the dark blue to emphasize the fish shadow area a little bit more. I can potentially work on this fish a little bit more, but enough is enough. It's kind of weird to grow and eat that fish. Yes, that is not weird, because that's what I think of every time I go to an aquarium. So, I can't wait. So I'm just gonna leave the fish here and start applying these shiny color. Let me take out my other set and see if I have a silver. No, I do not have a silver. Let me look. Okay, I do have a silver. White gold. Oh, I guess it's the same color. So you see how that blue, it becomes darker as soon as I put water on it? Let's see how that goes. Just gonna change my palette to the cleaner side so we got more space to work with. So excited. Look how it's all shimmery. I always thought I have a silver, but this is a white gold. So is that silver? So I guess this is a silver. And this is what the blue look like. And now let's mix the two together. Ah, it's kind of pretty. So this fish does not have any scale. This area, and then these three stripes are the silvery part. So I'm gonna just do like a sectional paint instead of painting on the entire fish and see how that goes. Pretty cool. I guess I like the silver on the fish by itself instead of adding any of the blue. This paint also dries really fast. I think I sprayed too much water on it, to be honest. I don't know how it looks on camera. I think it looks much better on camera than in person. It doesn't show the paint doesn't reflect as much in person, so it's hard for me to see how shiny it actually is. But if I look at the camera on the screen, it looks pretty nice. So I'm not really sure if I put enough paint on it or not. Kinda interesting. also kind of nice to thin it out and put it on the area where you can see through and see underneath the blue, the dark blue. But there's also still the shimmery paint on top. It's kind of nice. Let me add some here. It's a little hard to pick up this paint with the small brush because I think the paint is a little thick. It's hard to spread it with the small brush, but the bigger one is too big. I'll try my best. Yeah, it's too small. I need to, but it's my habit to always add some white at the end. We shall do that tonight as well. It just doesn't feel right if I don't put any highlight on my painting. Looks pretty nice now, but I think I'm gonna give it a black background. I think that way it will stand out better. I'm gonna use this ink. Give it some nice how that goes. I'm gonna do the wet on wet technique thing. Gonna wet the paper on the surrounding area, and then later the color should go according to the water. Okay. So just put clean water, and then I hope I don't ruin this. Oh wow, this black is not very dark. Guess I add some dark blue as well. I want the color to be a bit more concentrated. I really love these effects that it creates. So you can like move the water around to spread it out too. It's really neat. I wish I choose a darker black. What is this? It's just a black, but it's not black enough. Hi, Johnny. Let's see how this goes. Whoa. Thanks, Johnny. I'm a painter too. How so? Painting what? I did the wet on wet technique on the cabinet. I see, Johnny. Thoughts on dark green blue vignette at the corner. I really love these effects that I didn't intend to create. But it looks so pretty. Anyway, when you're doing the wet on wet technique, you can also move around the paper or use a hairdryer to blow the water into the direction that you like to create these type of effects. So I believe I added, after I painted the black, I added some clean water. So the water spread into the paint, and that's how you got these little texture down here. So I kind of don't like the paint keep going to the left. So I'm using a clean brush to move the water around. That way that will go to a different direction. I think we're good tonight. Paint is not fully dry yet, but you can see the shimmery. Okay, you can see the wet paint, but the shimmery silver blue is kind of what I'm trying to test tonight, and I think it looks pretty nice. Cool. Alright. I think that's it for tonight. We could wait for the paint to dry, but it's gonna take a while. If I'm not streaming, I would use a hairdryer. This area is it's a little light. watching, everyone. That's it for tonight.